We all know there are good friendships and lousy ones, basically. And you came up with a framework to help people make sure that they are in good friendships and that they are themselves good friends, the friendimacy triangle. So, can you explain it to us a little bit?
Yeah, so when we look at all the social studies that have been done on what makes healthy relationships, whether it's marriage, whether it's why you feel closer to one friend than another friend, what builds trust, what makes for healthy teams, all kinds of studies have been going on about like what makes for a healthy relationship. And there's three things that every single study has in common. Those are non-negotiables. They show up in every single definition of a healthy relationship. So every single other thing that we want in a relationship is either a synonym of these three words, or an outcome of these three words, or an example of these three words. But what's helpful is when we kind of pare it down to like recognize there's three things that we can judge the health of a relationship by. It helps us, to your point, know how to start relationships because we know which three levers we need in place to start a relationship. It helps us know how to deepen any relationship because we can look and see which of those levers is weakest or lagging behind, and we can kind of help be more intentional and move it. It helps us evaluate the health of a relationship. Like, why do I feel like this friendship just isn't feeling so great? Why is it feeling lousy? And helps us basically know how to repair the relationship if we want to, and eventually helps us acknowledge what might be true. And that is, I have kept trying to do what I can do to strengthen this relationship, and it's not strengthening. So therefore, I will adjust my expectations and stop pretending this is a healthy, good friendship, and set appropriate boundaries and stop investing. So those three things are consistency, which we named earlier. That's the pattern, that's the familiarity, that's the ongoing shared experiences, it's our interactions, it's our time together, it's our history, it's basically hours logged. So that's like how we spend time together. The second category is positivity. By positivity, I do not mean that we always have to be cheerful and positive. On the contrary, that's toxic positivity. What I do mean by positivity is that we need to feel accepted. We need to feel pleasure. We need to feel reward. We need to feel like there's more good and enjoyable than there is negative in those relationships. And so positivity includes things like enjoying each other and having fun together and laughing. It also includes empathy and validation and acceptance and stating that I love you, and showing up with acts of service or gift giving. So it's all the things that kind of are the fun, the joy, the I feel loved, I don't feel judged part of friendship. The research shows that we want to try to aim to have five pleasant emotions for every negative emotion in our relationships, which helps remind us that there are going to be negative, unpleasant emotions. We are going to annoy each other. We are going to disappoint each other. We are going to have moments for sure. And that doesn't mean it's a bad friendship. But the bigger question is, are we doing enough to keep that reward high? Do we still have fun together? Do we still laugh? Do I feel like she loves me? Is she cheering for me? And so if that ratio is in the right order, then those emotions don't kind of override the relationship. And then the third requirement of all healthy relationships is vulnerability. Vulnerability is how we start feeling like we know each other. It's where we share our stories, where we start learning what each other's opinions are, where we start feeling like we're kind of collecting data, if you will, on each other. And so where we start feeling like you know the best of me, the worst of me, you love me anyway. But this is where we eventually start kind of really being able to show up without a filter. But in our newer relationships, it's not about just being vulnerable and like just being like, okay, here's everything. Vulnerability should be incrementally built up as our consistency is built up. So as we have a little bit of consistency, so too should we have a little bit of vulnerability. When we're vulnerable, it should feel good. We should feel rewarded for that. We should feel like the other person appreciated us sharing them and holds that sacredly and loves us or accepts us or doesn't judge us. And then that makes us want to be more consistent with them. So we spend more time with them. And as we spend more time with them, we hopefully get to know each other even better, which is more revealing and vulnerability. And then it should feel good and we should feel closer. And then we want to do it some more. And those three things, as we just keep practicing those three things over and over and over, end up building our relationships.
The friend-intimacy triangle is great to assess a friendship, to become a better friend, or to understand what it is in that friendship that's making you feel bad, and to figure out whether you should try to make it work or let it go. Nowadays, a lot of people would tell you to embody that main character energy and to just let that friend go and to write them off because you're better off without them. But I'm gonna make a case for fighting for friendships and try to repair them, instead of just breaking up or quietly moving away from them, even when something feels off or toxic, because a lot of things can get better with constructive communication. You can use the friend-intimacy triangle to do a kind of diagnosis of your friendship. And if you see that one or several of these 3 essential things are missing, then you can work on that. It can also just show that your friendship is not as close or intimate as you thought, and that can be okay too. If you enjoyed this, you should definitely check out the full episode. It's available on this very platform, so see you there.